Hello and welcome back, guys, gals, and M-pals, monarchs of all or no genders, and everyone everywhere of the illustrious detail. I'm your host D, also known as MtF DOOM, and today we have a really cool double shot of Brewsday. I hope that you enjoy. So, welcome back. This is Brewsday, the weekly show where we go over a non-meta brew of my or someone in Discord's design. We talk about the strengths, the weaknesses, what could be improved, and how it has been performing. Mostly it is to highlight decks that you might not see somewhere else, and mostly they're one-off episodes. But today, we're double brewing. Because of the recent OTA patch, some of the decks that I've covered previously have changed enough that I feel the need, or maybe just desire, to cover them again here. So today we have two decks for you, one of which we covered pretty recently. We'll start with that one, and one which we covered actually a number of months ago, requested by Shaz of Discord. So thank you, Shaz, for putting that putting a bug in my ear. And this one we're going to start with. This is Magic Putty. It is a Cerebro 4 deck, but it is a hidden Cerebro 4 deck. The whole point of this deck is that it looks like either a Surfer or a Cerebro 2 deck based on what you play out early. So if you play out Cerebro, Mystique, Brood, Magik, your opponent's going, okay, yeah, this is Cerebro 2. We know what Cerebro 2 looks like. And if you play out Brood, Rogue, Mr. Fantastic, your opponent, and then maybe Sarah, your opponent's like, okay, it's a Surfer deck. I know what a Surfer deck looks like. But ultimately, it's actually both. So the idea is that all of your 3 cost cards have 2 power, and therefore will go up to 4. Well, they have 2 or less, right? Cerebro and Mystique. The ability to give them 2 power off of a Surfer hit is sometimes enough to win you the game. Like, by accident, your opponent doesn't see, like, oh, shit. They can put Cerebro and Mystique to 2 power each, and they're kind of mathing it out without that in mind. So, everything else, right? Brood, Magik, Fantastic, Rogue are all 3/2s. The change being Magik is now a 3/2 and fits into this deck. So we can take advantage of the extra turn afforded to us by Magik by either having Sarah for 2 turns, because if we Magik on 3, Sarah on 5, then we get 6 and 7 with the sort of cost reduction. We can also sometimes Spider-Man if we don't have if they're waiting, right? Because they're rightly going to wait for turn 7 to play out their big plays. We can Spider-Man them 4 power, so he also will get buffed by Cerebro or Mystique. It also just makes our draws really, really consistent. We can also play Crystal because she has 4 power and anything other than 3 energy cost. And so with that, between Crystal and Magik, we can see almost all of our deck, and usually it's enough to just win games in really, really interesting ways. In general, we can't beat like hella discard, but most fair mid-range matchups we have some kind of play against. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that Rogue will sometimes just win you a game, even if she is. You have to judge whether it is worth losing your Cerebro and possibly Cerebro and Mystique buffs by roguing their Dino or Darkhawk or Null. But the answer is usually yes, because usually it means you win. And also keep in mind further that if you rogue one of their ongoings, you steal their Null buff. If the next card you play is Mystique, Mystique gets that Null ongoing. Mystique gets Rogue's ongoing, which is now the Null or Darkhawk stolen valor. And that is one really cool to me, but 2 will also win you some amount of games, even though it might cost you the Cerebro buff. Right now, only Rogue is getting it. It's not split evenly among your whole squad. That doesn't matter if you've stolen 30 power from your opponent, like a 60 power swing in the lane. It doesn't matter. So don't overly rely on that, like the idea that like, oh no, Rogue is going to steal all the Cerebro buffs if it just wins you the game. But do keep it in mind as like, she can accidentally mess up if you steal, say, a Khazar buff. Well, you only have one cost, so suddenly your Ant-Man would go to 5 power and steal all the buffs from everything if he had the ongoing active, and that can be bad. So there are ongoings that you can steal that don't win you the game and actually actively lose you the game. Some alterations you can make to this deck. I would keep Claw. I would keep all the 5 costs. Claw, Sarah, and Spider-Man are all really good in their own way, and all can offer really interesting ways to win a game. Additionally, I like having more than just Cerebro as a Mystique hit. So having Cerebro, Rogue, Claw, and sometimes Sarah and Mr. Fantastic, based on if you just need the extra 2 power, or if you have an extra turn because of magic, you can Sarah on 5 and then Mystique on 6 and have a double discount, so your whole hand costs 1 basically because they're all 3s. That can sometimes literally just going like magic on 3, pass, Sarah on 5, Mystique on 6, and then dump your entire hand on 7, so they just have no fucking idea what you're doing, can be a really fun way to win. And you know, it's really cool. Some other possible inclusions would be Luke Cage. We in general don't have kind of any way of dealing with power reduction, obviously, except for stealing their Luke Cage buff. And I could even see it being Ant-Man swapped out for Luke Cage, even though that's 1 less hit. And currently we already have 2. Cerebro and Mystique are 2 cards, which will almost never be included in our power total, because you have to get them plus 2 power some other way, and then hit them with the Surfer for them to be actually like effective at this. But I don't think adding 1 more sort of quote unquote miss for the Cerebro hits and for the Surfer hits is that bad. So Ant-Man could be Luke Cage. You can also include Cloak and Storm are the other 2 big ones. Those are the 3 that I kind of wish I had room for, but I just feel like every time I play them, because I've tried all 3 of those, every time I play them, I want these cards more. And I think Crystal and Ant-Man here are the 2 that I'm least impressed with consistently. And so if you want one of those other 3, those would be my first 2 cuts recommended to you, right? If you want to, because this is already not the most optimal deck you can be playing, so feel free to have more fun with it and sort of tune it to what you're seeing in the meta. And yeah, that's it. That's it used to be called Serious Putty as a C4 joke by Grackleflint. Now I call it Magic Putty. We'll probably splice in some gameplay here, and then I'll meet you at the end of that gameplay for the next deck tech. All right, I mean, these are all my favorite cards. These are the cards that I like seeing. It doesn't always win us the games, but it is my favorite cards to see. And that's what we're doing Brewsday for, is our favorite cards. Coulson, come on, man. I can't play you. You have 4 power. I mean, you know, if we don't do the Cerebro plan, it's still fine. And even in... I mean, you know, it's not impossible. It's not impossible for us to play Coulson. Let's just keep that in mind. Let's all but guarantee that we have a Limbo this game by having 2 of them. Man, our opponent is in the tank over what, I wonder. All right. Killmonger, not the best card against us. But it can, you know, can change the math quite a bit in ways that aren't super helpful. I don't think I can Coulson. I think I think we're going to start Cerebroing, make them think it's Cerebro 2. Ooh. Do we rogue with the understanding? Maybe let's... No, because if they're playing the discard deck... No, they're not. They're not playing the discard deck is the thing. What are they playing? Oh, maybe it is the discard deck. But it got way worse for us. I say that, and yet... What do you got, opponent? Okay, we still have a limbo. We love that for us. Okay. Is that enough? Just adding 12 to the center? Is that enough? It might be. It might be enough. I think they might be a Cerebro yeah. I think they're Cerebro 3, I'm realizing. And so they couldn't Valk center because they would have lost. Yep, absolutely. We take that. I didn't put it together until the very last second, but you know, Cerebro 4 is bigger number than Cerebro 3. All right. Let's give him the spider point for having us both discarded a Mystique. They only have... Yeah, they have 8 in their deck, so they're not Thanos. I've stopped checking, but I really should check. I really should keep in the habit of checking. Huh. Okay. In general, we're not great, especially against the collector deck in the Mojo world, so we really do want to see... Oh god, it's getting worse. This is a really bad set of cards. We really want to see Magic, but now we're even priced into Magicking Dream Dimension, which sucks. But I've been wrong before. No, this does suck. This actually loses us the game. Like 90% of all the times that we play this out. This sucks. It's just bad. Alright, I mean, on the upside, they can't actually play those, because normally they'd cost 5, but now they do cost 6, which is, like, kind of okay for us. I don't know. I think it's just like this. And then we claw. Next turn. Yeah, you could have Spider-Man, Sarah, or Claw. That's fine. It's not great for us. So this puts us up to... I don't know. Maybe it's enough. Maybe it's enough. The fact that Fantastic is already, like, fighting over Quinjet makes me think this might do it, and it does do it, so we're happy with that. Whew! The Mr. Fantastic contest. We just did good that game. Also, they're playing a very strange deck. So, I always forget to say this. It's been requested, so I know it's on people's minds, but, like, what are good and bad locations? And the answer for this deck is that, like, we have Magic, so we get one free, like, one free bad location. Ooh. I think we like that quite a lot. I think we like that quite a lot from our opponent. But having, oh, see, having like multiple sort of bad locations like this can be really tough. We have Brood for the Danger Room. Let's just try to Magic before they get too much value. Yeah, that's like fine. They lost their Brood. They lost their Surfer. Like, if they put us on being Cerebro 2, which they rightly will, they might think that we just can't win. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna steal... Did they? Oh, they discarded Brute. That's really funny. So they still had the out to get into Danger Room. We're gonna do this. And then that? No, now they're gonna know we're not. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have crystalled last turn. I should have crystalled last turn. They don't have their Surfer. We need our Surfer. Like, what am I saying? I mean, that's also fine. I would have liked a Spider-Man, but we get a 2 out of 3 to hit our Surfer. Come on, don't be the bottom card, man. Don't do it. Okay, alright, thank you. So... like that? They're at 11. They can't Shadow King. They can't Surfer. They could Maximus to go up to 18, and we'd only be at... Oh, that's tough. 4, 8, 10, 14. We'd only be at 14. But maybe they Maximus left? Or do we Claw? And then add... That's only 12 on the right, though. Okay, maybe... Oh, we already put Ant-Man down. We can't take that back. Oh, no. Yeah, let's do it like this. And maybe they just don't think... Yeah, there's the Maximus. And they didn't put it center. But is it enough for us? It is. By 1. By 1. It absolutely is. Had they swapped them, they would have won. Alright, I mean... They like it too, huh? The thing is, if they're snapping on Onslaught Citadel, then Rogue gets really good. Like, possibly snapback levels of good. Mer Island, less good for us. Obviously. Ooh. Are they a negative deck? And they're just planning on winning Onslaught Citadel with a flipped Iron Man? Could be. Could absolutely be true. All that being said, maybe we're not a Cerebro deck this game. So there's the negative. They have... So they snapped... They functionally, it seems, snapped on the turn 3 negative, and not so much... Oh, Crystal's really bad. Maybe Crystal's not that bad. Am I losing my shit? Because, like, we're gonna, like, guarantee them getting Iron Man. Maybe we just drew them into Iron Man, and then they set them to 3 instead. Person can dream, right? And then we do that. You know what? You know what? A person can dream. Oh, there's magic. All right. Well, things are getting worse for us, I think. No, they're not. We're totally fine. We're literally fine. We go Sarah. Oh, you know what? We gotta get the double discount on Sarah. This also, like, no, if they Deadpool here, or if they Killmonger here, then we are ahead. We don't want priority is the thing going into 7, but it's unlikely we can get rid of it. But like, this might be good enough anyway, because one of these is probably going to be Deadpool. If one of them is like, or Killmonger, I keep saying Deadpool, right? Forge. Oh, that's an interesting set of cards there. All right, so I don't love what's going on here, but simultaneously, I don't hate what's going on here. Is that overdoing it? Yes, it is. Like that? But then do we ever win the right side? Probably not. I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. No, we don't win. We don't win anything. What's the... we might win some of the time. We might. What do they got? Yeah, hell yeah. We take that. Glad we swapped the mystique to the center to give us the bonus 6 on the right side. I'm always so torn on playing the turn 1 Ant-Man. It opens it up to Killmonger, and it signals that we're not Cerebro 2. So I think I should save it for it. Oh, okay. Sanctum in the center is notably better for us than Sanctum on the left. Are they also Cerebro 2? Why don't we... Okay, we got all the cards we need. We're gonna rogue. We're gonna rogue. With Sewer System and Sanctum up, I think I'm pretty happy with this. I actually don't know if we want a crystal. Yeah, we do. They're in high Evo deck. Okay. Oh. I think I'm happy. No, you know what? We'll go Sarah over here. And then we can go Claw plus Cerebro next turn. Claw winning center, Cerebro hopefully winning left. Love that. Love that for us. And we go like that. And like, again, how long have they had? 4, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20? I mean, they didn't even float every turn, so I think we got it. What do you got? What do you got, opponent? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We love that. They never see the clock coming. All right, we are once again in a position of Ant-Man or not, and I'm going to once again pick not. Although, okay. Now I'm gonna Ant-Man, because we can brood. We can brood next turn, and then magic the Space Throne. Yeah, I think that's fine. Because they're kind of fighting over it, and now we won it. I think I'm priced in to doing magic this turn. I mean, we drew Sarah, so like we aren't going to want for anything basically this game. We can cast everything we draw, I think. Maybe not if we draw Spider-Man and Crystal. Maybe. What do you got? A retreat. Absolutely. And here we have 5-head Brain Dead. So this is a bounce deck, which obviously bounce just got nerfed. Long live bounce. That also wants to utilize the move package to just do really cool stuff. If you watched my most recent Connecticut Devils video, we almost got to do the thing where we Moon Girl to get double Iron Fist, double Vulture. This deck is just kind of trying to do stuff like that consistently. So it has the part of the bounce package that got nerfed previously was Beast, and then more recently was Kitty Pryde. And so we have 2 of those nerfed cards here. Falcon did not get nerfed. Also, I have a 6 Steampunk variant. And Ghost Spider, for our purposes, got buffed because she's just Iron Fist, but, you know, post hoc, right? Iron Fist has to come out before. Ghost Spider can come out after and move something. Just so we're all on the same page. Ghost Spider's a 1/2. On reveal, the last card you played moves here. She used to be a 2/3. She is now way better as a 1/2. And so, if we have either of those, either Iron Fist or Ghost Spider plus Human Torch, well, you know, that's a single move. But we can also move stuff now. We can play stuff into Angela's lane and move it out, right? So we're getting the bonus value. We can play stuff into Angela's lane and bounce it with Falcon, getting therefore bonus value. We can play both of our big move enablers and bounce them with either Falcon or Beast and get bonus value. And because of the ability to also sometimes like replay, like bounce and replay Vulture or bounce and replay Cloak and therefore move Vulture or Human Torch, our Human Torch works as a second Kitty Pryde in a lot of ways, of being a 1 cost that can kind of contest a lane all on its own. And then finally, we are still running Beast because ultimately, like, if we play something on 2, we play an Angela, and then, like, on 3, we play... It kind of doesn't matter. We play Craven and Kitty Pryde, and then on 4, we play Kitty Pryde and Beast, and, like, bounce back Angela as a 1, Craven as a 1, and Kitty Pryde as a 0, and also having buffed Angela 3 times? 2 times, maybe? It's just like, it's just enough power, right? And it's really hard for your opponent to figure out where that power is going. Additionally, like, we're moving so much stuff that Spider-Man is almost always just going to cost 1. Craven, like, doesn't have 1 hit and you're good. Like, a 2/4 is, like, pretty good. And it's not super uncommon for you to, like, move more than 1 card into his lane to make him a 2/6 or a 2/8. And that's without the kind of huge Heimdall plays that some of these decks want to go for. This is, you know, the midpoint between the all-in Phoenix Force type decks, Heimdall type decks, and the bounce archetype. You're just trying to play really interesting turn 6s that are really hard for your opponent, to gauge where the power is going, and it's a lot of power unto itself. Some possible augments depending on which way you want to lean. Angela and Craven are both pretty good. I think Craven's a little worse, and I think Collector can be sometimes more power because of board space considerations. And then the other thing I would consider is Doctor Strange is pretty good with what we have going on here. Again, the ability to bounce him and then replay him and then maybe pull something again is like good, but also the ability to play him, consolidate all your stuff into one lane, right? If you have a bunch of 2-power stuff and you move like all of it to one lane and then you just Falcon and it's like, well, your Craven plus a bunch of 1 costs have moved to the lane with Strange, and then you've also cleared the lane out and been able to redeploy. That can be really, really good. The only downside being, like, if you play out Angela on 2 or Bishop, your Strange is pretty regularly going to yoink them, and they're not great cards to pull with Strange. Unfortunately, I can't find room for Hitmonkey in this deck because we don't run Mysterio, and we cannot run Mysterio because it takes up way too much space, and we have no way to clear any of the clones, and we're not running Bast, so the clones are going to be 0 power. So ultimately, I don't think we can include Mysterio if you're, like, contemplating that. We could probably make room for Hood, just because we have 2 ways of bouncing it, and we don't ever have to replay the Hood. We can always play the Demon. I think if you were thinking of Collector instead of Craven, you would probably want the Hood in there somewhere. And I think that's about it for cards that I would change. Oh, there was a consideration for Polaris, but I haven't played with Polaris yet. But again, I think if you're playing Craven and Spider-Man, Polaris makes a lot of sense. I just couldn't find room for it in this list. I think you need a critical mass of 1s for the Falcon plays, which for me, 4 of them is good enough. But you might get different mileage from all these moving pieces. This is just the core that I prefer to play with, that I've had luck playing with. And keep in mind that luck is really an operant word here. But ultimately, the types of plays you can make with this deck are really cool. They're unlike anything else. We'll get into some gameplay, and I will now see you at the outro. Oh, alright. Stegron could be a fun... That could be a fun card. I opened Stegron, what, last round of caches. Alright. Is it Darkhawk or is it Cerebro 2? My least favorite game. It looks like Cerebro 2. It looks like it. Yeah, I mean... Oh, let's snap on that. Especially with the Kitty Pride pull, so we can fill Raft. And if it's Cerebro 2, Raft is bad for them. Like, they don't care about getting... But they got it anyway. That's fine. Because, like, they're now priced into turning off Bifrost this exact turn, I think. Right? Because otherwise, what they think is going to happen is that Craven Human Torch will move again and auto win. Oh, but do I think they have it in them? You know what? Let's hedge our bets. Let's hedge our bets. So now, if they shut off Bifrost, we can still Beast. Oh my god, they didn't do it. Alright, so I think we won anyway because of the set of plays that they did here. Because now Bifrost is going to move us. And we win right side. All of the times we win right side now. It has to fast forward. We also haven't filled it. We also haven't filled it up. So we just go like, I don't know, like that. Is that even good enough? Maybe not. Oh, you know what? This is actually awkward enough that I don't know how I do it. Oh, no. You know what? We're fine. We're fine. We do it like this. And then next turn, we'll just Stegron. Because these are each worth 3. They're each worth 7. Yeah, and I don't think they're going to fill the left side. So we're adding 13, and we're kind of taking... So we have to beat 21, and we'll be at 23. Okay, wait, that's still fine. Because I think in general, it means they don't have... Yeah. That's better for us, I think. Alright, cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, because if they had Mystique and Mysterio, the only other card they could have had would have... Although Yellow Jacket would have done it. If they went Yellow Jacket, then Cerebro, and then Mystique, I think they would have had it, because then Stegron could not have knocked one of their cards out. But they didn't, so we're fine. Alright, so I've been having really bad connectivity issues, so I'm just trying to get one more game. We had a couple really good games, and then a couple that I won't be able to use just because, like, they look like ass, because I have to keep reconnecting. So I'm trying to get one more good game, and it looks like it might be this one. It looks like it might be this one. Alright, pretty sure my opponent is on. Jeff Hoogland just released a new video about a clog deck. And I'm gonna bet my opponent saw that and just thought it was the greatest shit ever. Just like that? Is that too cute? Nah, that's not too cute. That's just cute enough. Let's do that. Yoink. And then bong. Yeah, great. We love this. And we get the 1-cost Spider-Man. We really want Falcon. We really love seeing the fast forward, though. Oh, that's hilarious. Come on. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I literally forgot we had Kitty Pryde, and that's going to be good enough. Because we'll get the bonus energy. Although, to what end? Like, there's nothing in our deck. We didn't hit any of the cards we kind of needed for this to work, but you know what? It's good enough, right? Like, they're gonna have to, like, move Jeff. It's really messed up. Okay, no. So this is fine. So we go Beast, Angela, Kitty Pryde, add 7 to the left, add 4 to the right, which, and our Cosmo, they have Cosmo, so Beast isn't gonna go off, and then we're adding 3 to the center. So they're priced into moving Jeff. Yeah, we're good with this. We're good with that. Let's see what they do. Come on, opponent. They retreated. Fantastic. All right, we'll take that. That was a good one to end on. Thank you so much, everyone who watched today. I appreciate you a whole lot. If you're still here, consider subscribing and joining the Discord. at least leaving a like and maybe a comment on the video. It helps me reach more people, which is ultimately what I do this for. I wouldn't be able to make these videos if people didn't feed me some really cool ideas over the 7+ months that I've been doing this. Huge appreciate if we could hit like 500 subscribers is the next goal. And a special thank you to the following who keep this channel running: The Tiny Ruby, A Frog in a Tent, Clips, Crayon Eater, Cole D, Polyhaze, Sartorius, Demisi, KD, Diston Nelson, and Matt Backey. These are all people who have donated their time, energy, money, or talent, and sometimes all of it, to keeping this channel going, to providing art, music, ideas, editing. I appreciate all of you very much. I hope that everyone here has a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.